Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to week 4 of the BattleBots prediction tournament. Last week I did very well and you guys did very well. The scores are on your screen right now, and as you can see I only got the P1 Valkyrie result wrong, and both of us got the Fusion result wrong. You will notice that your score has got a yellow score this week, and that's because, I kid you not, it'll be on your screen now, it was a 50-50 split between who would win out of Riptide and Huge, and I was really confused about what to do. I honestly didn't know what we should do, and in the end I came up with the idea that I can't say you got it wrong, I can't say you got it right. You got it half right as an audience, so you will be allowed to have half points. I won't, because obviously I'm only picking a winner. I can't pick a draw, for example, but it's only me. But in the case of if there is no clear winner and it's a 50-50 split, it will look like that on the screen. It will be a yellow logo, it will be a yellow highlighted logo, and then you'll be given a half point, which means that I have clawed back some score this week. The scores are 15 to me, and you guys, the audience, have got 17.5. Without further ado, let's go and have a look at the fight card. So we have the fight card here. Of course, I know what the main event is going to be. I'm a BattleBots supporter. If you want to get the fight card at the same time as me, go and subscribe to them on Facebook, and you'll get all of the stuff early. That's what I do. I get the fight card early. I then edit my predictions and the video, and then when it comes out live to everybody, and that's on a Wednesday evening in the UK, I'm not quite sure what time it is in America, I think it might be midday, that's when the video is uploaded. So that's a little bit behind the magic of how I do it. But yeah, if you want to see the fight card when I do, go and subscribe to BattleBots. They are, it's worth it. It's about £3 a month, so that's what, something like $4, I don't know. I'm rubbish with American stuff. I'm British. So let's see what we've got this week. Interesting, there's some people who are fighting for the first time and a couple who are fighting for the second time. The main event comes to mind. That's two robots who have already fought. As for the rest, yeah, there's a handful. There's a good mixture. It's an alright fight card from the look of it. Good main event. Not sure about the rest of it, really. Tombstone Mammoth. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. So our first fight sees Jackpot taking on Malice. Now both of these robots have already fought this season. Jackpot won their first fight against Deadlift. That was a YouTube exclusive, while Malice lost convincingly to Tantrum, I would say. I think Tantrum, I was completely correct in that prediction, that Malice lost the blade and it wasn't a very good pusher, and Tantrum just had that fantastic wedge that would just go up against it and just bullied Malice. It's an interesting fight, this one, because it really is all about that first hit. It's about who will collide with who, how will they, interact with each other, the vertical against the sort of horizontal. And both of these machines, I don't know if they can take a good knock or not, really. I know it might be surprising that once again I'm not really rating Jackpot. I think I have a bit of a habit of doing that. But they look good. I'll give them the benefit of not a doubt, but I do have doubts. So maybe, yeah, I will give them the benefit of the doubt, talking myself in circles here. Malice is very chunky, and I think it can withstand the hits. And, when it comes down to this fight, it's very difficult to predict, I think. I'm gonna go for Malice, because I think he's more solid. I think they're more solid. So I'm gonna go for Malice. But that one is a really tricky fight. I don't think we've ever seen them, both of them. It's difficult. I just can't see those two machines coming together in the box. But we're going to see it, and that's what's exciting about BattleBots sometimes, is you have no idea how the machines are going to come together. And in that one, I'm just going to take a blind pick and say I think Malice will have it, because I think they can withstand the blows. They might lose their disc, but I think they can topple over Jackpot, and whether Jackpot's self-writer works or not, well, that's something else to see. So I'm going to go for Malice. Our second fight of the night sees Ribot take on Overhaul. Ribot has already fought. They fought Defender, which is part of the Whiplash team, really. It's the other brother who fought Defender, and that was a knockout for Ribot. Overhaul, it's the first time we've seen them this season. It's the first time we've seen them in such a very long time. It's lovely, amazing to have Overhaul back. I think it's a real character. It's a robot with a lot of character. It's sort of like a grapple version of Razor almost. They've got exposed wheels this year looking at it, and again, I'm not quite sure, because Overhaul was always wasn't the greatest machine in the BattleBots pantheon of robots. But, you know, they might have a real chance here against Ribot, really depending on what Ribot puts on. It just depends how sturdy Overhaul is. If Overhaul can withstand a couple of hits and come back with, you know, some grapples and some lifts of its own, you know, it could have Ribot in trouble here. But the question is, can they do that? And can Overhaul withstand that pressure? And it's really tricky. I don't know. I honestly don't know if Overhaul can do it. But, you know, I have a real belief in them. And last week I went a bit, what some people might think was a bit crazy. I went for Riptide over Huge. You know what? This week I'm going to do it again. I think I'm going ballsy with my predictions this week. I'm going to go for Overhaul. I think Overhaul can beat Ribot here. I think the odds might be stacked against them. If Ribot can do some damage, then, you know, I think it can go wrong very quickly. But you know what? I will go for Overhaul. I think the years away they've spent, they have to have done something, and especially with the spinners getting bigger, badder, and meaner, they have to have done something to fix the sturdiness of that machine. So I think it will be able to tank the hits from Ribot. I think if it equips its horizontal, Ribot might just go, you know, sprawling off. And if it equips its vertical, you know, I think it could grab it and move it around. I think it would grab it and move it around a lot better than Defender. It's just a question of whether they are more withstandable to that pressure. And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go for Overhaul, coming back to BattleBots with a win. Now, our next fight is Blade against Scorpios. Now, Blade is not the spiritual successor to the Robot Wars Series 3 robot Blade. It is, in fact, a machine from South Korea, I believe, that's competed in King of Bots. And it's a very mean machine. It's got a very good disc on it. I know a lot of people are very excited to see it competing on BattleBots. As for Scorpios, I don't think we've seen them this season yet. I'm fairly sure we've not seen them. And of course, they had a mighty scalp of Tombstone last season. Their guy, you know, their team is great. They do some amazing YouTube videos, and they have a really tough match. This first match against Blade, you know, it's a very tough match. Of course, they beat Tombstone, who is probably the most similar style to the South Koreans' entry here with Blade. Now, will Scorpios be able to deflect the horizontal blade of Blade? No, I think Blade is going to do South Korea proud, and I think Blade are going to get their debut BattleBots win. I think they're going to take chunks out of Scorpios and rip a wheel off or something. Now, what a fight this one is. This is Tombstone against Mammoth. This might be a fight that people have been asking for years, because people want to see how Mammoth, which is basically a piece of scaffolding, stands up to Tombstone. Now, Tombstone is coming off of that shock loss to Captain Shredderator, which nobody saw coming. Both you, the audience, and me predicted a Tombstone easy win, and Captain Shredderator silenced us, didn't they? And have really looked strong this season after their first match. As for Mammoth, again, they got off to a winning start as well. They were comfortable winners over... Who was it over? Who was it over? Can't remember. We'll find out. Hijinks. My memory is absolutely shocking. It was Hijinks. Again, Hijinks just not staying in my memory. Yeah, they got the very convincing win over Hijinks, didn't they? And I predicted that Hijinks were going to win that. But yes, Mammoth had that win. So, again, if you're going off the form guide, Mammoth's in a better position. But I reckon Tombstone, it's going to turn Mammoth into just a pile of, like, bits of metal on the floor, aren't they? Surely they're not going to conk out again. Depends. If Mammoth can box rush Tombstone, they could cause some real problems. It's just about stopping Tombstone from getting up to speed. Do I think they can do it? I'm going to go for Tombstone. I think they're going to come out strong. I think Ray Billings is going to want the win very, very badly. And I don't think Mammoth is going to be able to contain them. I'm going to go for a Tombstone win. So it's Lucky against Tantrum for this next fight. Lucky we've not seen yet this season, the Canadian entry with a very powerful flipper, but has never really gone to the next level of their machine. I believe they missed last season. I'm not completely positive. Someone might have to make me remember in the comments. But we know that Lucky's flipper, when it gets a bit of a punch, it can send a robot into the stratosphere. And as for Tantrum, it doesn't really need an introduction. We talked about Tantrum actually at the start of the episode. They of course fought Malice and handily beat them. They have a new team captain. They're sharing a team bench with the Blip team, who obviously have broken away and made their own machine. But they're running both from the same pit table, if I remember correctly. So, you know, they'll have all the experience from the Blip team, and they'll be able to help each other out. And, you know, they looked very good, and they believe that Tantrum is a semi-final bot. I believe that they do have the potential to be a final bot, because they're very sturdy. But that weapon, I think, stopped working in that fight against Malice, if I remember correctly. I think the disc didn't stop spinning, but I think the punching action, the movement back and forwards stopped. Now, this match against Lucky is all about the ground game. It's who can get underneath who first. If Lucky can get underneath Tantrum and send it sky high, then Tantrum are in trouble. But if Tantrum can get underneath Lucky, I think they will bully them around a little bit and will cause damage. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think Tantrum is going to get underneath Lucky. Could be wrong. With these ones, it's always a complete guess who will get underneath who. Maybe Lucky will bring something to the fight that means they can get under them every time, because that's what flippers will do. They will put on attachments that mean they can get under a robot, and you won't see it until they come out. But just going off of the images in the fight picture and what we've seen so far, I think Tantrum will pick up the win here and go 2-0 for the season. So it's Ghost Raptor versus Glitch, and let me just say, what on earth is going on with Ghost Raptor in that picture? I think it might just be because it's small, but has Ghost Raptor completely changed design? I'm not sure. Give me 1 second. No. So looking at the picture, no, it just, well, it's got a bit more to it. It's got some teeth. It's got a bit more character to it. I like the look of Ghost Raptor. Visually as a robot, it's exactly what you want from a BattleBots entrant. As our Glitch, looking at Glitch, it's a very interesting time. It looks like a stealth bomber almost. And how these two machines are going to come together, I have absolutely no idea. If I could vote for a draw or have a free pass or something, I think I definitely would. It's horizontal versus vertical. But while I'm looking at it, I'm wondering what can Ghost Raptor do to Glitch, and what can Glitch do to Ghost Raptor. I think Glitch has got more chance of doing something meaningful, damage-wise, to Ghost Raptor. But Ghost Raptor could lift Glitch up, but Glitch is very low to the ground. And Ghost Raptor's reliability is not fantastic. I'm going to go for Glitch, just because I think that spinner can get more purchase than Ghost Raptor's can on Glitch. No idea though, that is a very tricky one. I don't think we'll have either idea of how these two robots are going to perform until they get into the arena and we see them move around, we see them fight. So maybe for their second fights it'll be a bit easier to predict. But for this first one, no idea. But Glitch is my prediction. So the YouTube exclusive is Rampage, a machine we've seen before. They competed last season. And Retrograde. What a name. What a name from the start. Retrograde is a great name for a robot. It looks like a sort of grabbing machine. And Rampage, of course, we know is a vertical spinner. I don't know if this will be the most entertaining fight on the planet. Might be why it's a YouTube exclusive. But it's certainly interesting. And I'm not sure who's going to come out the better here. We've seen a lot of grabber versus vertical spinner fights this year. I feel like, or we're going to be seeing a lot of them. And I'm going to go for Rampage. Simply because, and you're not going to like this one, guys, because it's terrible. You know, you come to watch it to see my predictions, what my thoughts and feelings are on the BattleBots episode. And this one is going to be simply Rampage has been in BattleBots before. I have no idea what Retrograde is, what it's going to do. Looks like a clamp bot. I don't know how reliable it's going to be. Rampage I have seen before. And while it didn't tear up any trees in BattleBots 2020, I think it will get the win here. Whether that be a knockout or after a very long, drawn out 3-minute battle. Either is possible, but I'm giving the win to Rampage just because I don't know enough about Retrograde. But maybe Retrograde will get the win, and then I'll be able to predict a bit better on it in episode 2, or in its second fight even. So it's time for the main event. It's SawBlaze against MadCat. What a fight this is, by the way. SawBlaze, of course, won the first fight of the season against Minotaur. What an amazing fight that was. And one that I predicted correctly, may I add. And MadCat also got a win, I believe. And again, I'm rubbish. I forgot who it was against. You'd think I don't actually watch the episodes, because I just forget who people fight. It's because there's so many fights that you don't, sometimes you just don't remember. Sometimes machines just get, just slip through the cracks. Of course they beat Yeti, and I thought that Yeti was going to win, I believe, and was horribly wrong. Again, I forget who I've even predicted. It's terrible. It is genuinely terrible. Yes, MadCat beat Yeti. It's an interesting fight, this one. And I think that SawBlaze is going to win. Because I really like SawBlaze, but I think it's a really unique design, and they've perfected it. They have gone to another level with that. That hammer saw is deadly. And Jameson Go is, I think, a very good driver, and I think they can box MadCat in. They can bring that down, and a lot of robots aren't protected on top, as we saw with Minotaur. It just absolutely tore chunks out of it. And I think it will do the same to MadCat. Don't get me wrong, MadCat has a chance in this fight, completely and utterly. But I just think SawBlaze will put on a plow or something that will help guide MadCat into their sort of dustpan of doom. And I think they will tear lumps off of them, to be perfectly honest. So, those are my predictions. Remember, as per usual, you can vote down in the description. There's a Google form where you can put in who you think is going to win each fight. This week, you have a 2.5 point gap. I've made some very wonky decisions this week, I think, with my predictions. Will that prove to be good for me? Or will you guys go for more sensible options, perhaps, and beat me? Or will you go for the exact same? I mean, in the last 2 weeks, we've been very, very similar with our picks. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be making one of these every week, basically, for the next 15, however many weeks this season is. And then I've got plans for some other robot combat stuff. We've got a sort of computer game sort of tournament thing coming. We should have some other things that are under wraps. And of course we have Robot Rumble Season 3. That is coming, guys, that is coming. It just won't be till later on in the year. I have a lot on my plate. Filming will probably be in the summer. We need to get the robots together. We need to build some new robots. But I'm very excited about the plans being put in place for Season 3. And I can't wait for you guys to see that. There might be some specials before then, perhaps, but we will see. Thank you very much for watching. Go and check out my other videos. They're all over the place. Goodbye.